James, a tremendous achievement with the Brora pitch was the certificate of the Bronze Award. Just tell us how that kind of came around.
Yeah, so I think last year we thought we probably could have got a bronze award through, but because of the width of the pitch, I think there was something to do with it. Needed to be another foot wider either side or something before we would have been able to qualify for getting the bronze. And I think that was the only major difference, other than maybe adding the drainage into the park.
A lot of work to be done. Sorry, and of course the past troubles we had. What was the kind of preparations going through to get the pitch ready for a successful season last term?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. The turf that we ended up putting onto the park, it needs looked after. It needs watered. It needs fertilised a lot. So there's a lot of work needs to get into it, and a lot of obviously money and resources, which the club have given to me to do. So it's been really good, and it's worked out really well. But a lot of hard work in it.
Talk us through that hard work, especially a preparation before a home match. The pitch looks in good condition considering the weather we've had.
Yeah, it's like the seasons are different, isn't it? Because once you get into the winter, some of the grasses are in hibernation, and you lose some of the grasses, and some of the other grasses are sort of still there. So it's a bit thinner in the winter, and then in the summer, you're obviously fertilising it more, you're cutting it more. So setting it up for a game in the summer, you'd be white lining it on a Friday night, but you'd have to cut it again on the Saturday morning before the game. Whereas in the winter, especially this week, the weather was really bad, and forecast was 40-mile-an-hour winds and heavy rain. So I was proactive enough to get the pitch cut and white lined on the Wednesday. So everything was done on the Wednesday, so we didn't have to be looking about putting goals in 40-mile-an-hour winds and stuff like that. So. Yeah.
What is the kind of ideal conditions to prep yourself for a game? Obviously, Sutherland's not going to be a prime spot, but what are the kind of conditions you like for to make sure the pitch is looking at its superb best?
Yeah, summer obviously when you've got all the grasses healthy and you fertilise it, and you've got the grass is looking really green and healthy, and you're cutting it 2 or 3 times in the one day, getting the stripes really good. Obviously the summer it looks that bit better, but the challenge is really in the winter to try and keep the grasses as healthy as it can be, especially at likes of this time. We've got 4 or 5 games at home over the next 2 or 3 weeks, so it's going to be a big test for the park.
So what is the kind of roles after the game? Obviously the match today, what is the kind of recovery for the pitch, if you will?
Yeah, good question. This time of year, very, very difficult. So we'll take the goals out after the game, make sure flags are in, that's ready for, again, going in maybe tomorrow or Monday to go in with some grapes, and any divots or scars or anything like that we can sort of plug up. We'll do that on Monday or Tuesday, and then give it a cut again on Tuesday, just before the game on Wednesday. So recovery's not a lot in the winter because there's no grass growing at this time of year. So, but in the summer months, that becomes you're doing the scars and you're cutting and But right this summer, what we need to do is top dress the park, because some of the drainage that we put in has kind of sank a little bit. So there is areas that we need to go in and put a lot of sand on and get that levelled up for the next season ahead. But it's a lot of work, you need bodies, you need resources, and obviously you need money as well. And we're kind of lucky with 2 or 3 of them. But so hopefully next season we can even see a better playing surface.
And what does it kind of mean for you to be the head greenkeeper, and what's the kind of parts you enjoy the most?
Yes, so difficult because I'm back and forth between the golf course and here. So I've always really wanted, when I got into greenkeeping a lot, I really wanted to take over full time a football pitch, and I love doing it. I love being part, but it really needs more. I'm another guy here. I need to be here full time. I know what we can get at the end of it if we get that, but because it's part time and I'm back and forth between here and the golf course, it can be difficult. But we do the best we can.